So since it is that we got the chance to watch the Avengers Doomsday now in production teaser with all and mind you, there's like 50 cast members that is going to be a part of this movie, and you're bringing back the OGs of OGs. I've waited so long for this, and it's going to be peak, okay, peak. So let's go ahead. Let's get into this Marvel Studios Avengers Doomsday entire cast breakdown. Let's get into this video, y'all. Let's do it.
As I record this, Marvel Studios right now is making a major announcement. So
Hey, listen, W figurines in the back, though. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to go ahead and get my collection going.
what we're gonna do in this video is break down everything that was officially confirmed. So strap yourselves in because we're in for a bit of a longer video.
Am I okay with that?
Okay, so first let's start off with the funny. And the funny is, the moment that this stream went up over on Marvel's social media pages, tons of people jumped on reporting what we knew was coming, which of course is the cast confirmation from Marvel Studios. So let's just do it in the order of announcement. First and foremost is Chris Hemsworth, aka one half of Love and Thunder. Now, there's no confirmation as of the recording right now whether or not his, I guess, tag team partner will be in this, but Chris Hemsworth makes sense. We
I'll see you
know
later,
that the
Herman.
Russo brothers love working with him. Obviously, he's still very important. The last film made money. By all accounts, we're getting another Thor film. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see what they do with him in this film. I'm hoping.
I I'm not mad about them doing another Thor film, but it has to be like productive in a formal way because they kind of have been not doing his movies justice. I mean, the only movie it is, if you want to count Love and Thunder in there as well, the only movie it is that was actually good was Ragnarok. That was the only Thor movie that was like, no, this was actually peak. Everything else is a little lacklustered. So I hope it is, if they're going to do a Thor movie, just do some justice with this one.
hoping that they serious him up and hopefully don't make him learn what it is to be Thor again, like they have for the last 3 films he's appeared in. But hey, who knows? Let's hope for the best, right? Next up is Vanessa Kirby, aka Sue Storm, aka Miss Fantastic. This isn't a new announcement. She was announced to be part of the cast at last year's San Diego Comic-Con when the Russo brothers were announced to be directing the film. So this is sort of a reconfirmation or a, hey, now you've seen the trailer, now you know who she is, now you know the name, she's also in this film. This obviously makes a whole lot of sense because the Fantastic Four and the multiverse go together like peanut butter and jelly at this point. So seeing this is pretty awesome. I genuinely love Miss Fantastic in the comics, so I cannot wait to see how she does this role and what she brings to the table in Doomsday.
Right.
After Sue Storm, we had the announcement of Captain America Anthony Mackie. As a side note, people in the comments were wondering why he's coming back after his film failed. By that logic, why was Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth both in Avengers when their film bombed, along with the Hulk? Why wasn't he just ripped out of the MCU? Sam Wilson is Captain America, guys. Captain America needs to be part of the Avengers. Whether or not you like the film, that's a completely different discussion. But they
I feel like once it is like the torch was passed over to Falcon, you know, canonically speaking, in the comic books, it is that did happen, yes, but I always kind of feel like it is that something was a little bit missing along with his character. But I don't have a problem with Anthony Mackie being in this. He is Captain America. They do need to have Captain America in it. I think that we've gotten so spoiled with Chris Evans because he played the role so well. You know, we're still kind of giving Anthony Mackie the "you'll never be like Chris Evans" treatment, and it's like he's not a bad Captain America. He's not. I just didn't like the TV show version of of Captain America. That Disney did. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like that. But the movie was okay. It wasn't the greatest Captain America movie, but it's not as bad as the Thor movies. So I would still watch that versus the Thor movie, believe it or not.
They weren't going to get rid of Captain America. Obviously, his name wasn't first in this whole announcement, but be sure to understand that he will be the leader of the Avengers. It's
Yes.
always Captain America.
Yeah,
That's
it
just
makes
how it
sense.
goes. He's going to be the leader. I'm excited. I absolutely love his Captain America in the comics and in film, so I'm hyped by this announcement. Another thing I like and I'm excited for is the announcement of Bucky Barnes, aka Sebastian Stan. He was right there after Anthony Mackie. This is obviously intentional. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier go together. And by the end, they're Captain America and the Winter Soldier. They still go together. If you watched Brave New World, you know that these two are great friends. They got and share love for one another like they're brothers, and their story just makes sense. I'm super excited to see Bucky back and what they're going to do with him after Thunderbolts
Yeah,
because
that
he's
too.
genuinely a great character. Obviously, it looks like this time he's probably more core aspect of the team instead of like a side character. At least that's what I'm hoping with the announcement. So we're going to have to wait and see, but Bucky should excite pretty much everybody. Next up is the Black Panther herself, Letitia Wright. She was officially announced to be part of the cast as well.
I'm not
I
mad at
mean, this
this.
is another one that just makes sense. How are you going to leave out the king or queen of Wakanda? You don't. You need them on there, right? So this is one that automatically makes sense. The last time we saw the Black Panther, she literally took on that mantle. She's got her new suit. She defended her kingdom. The political landscape of Wakanda has changed. She's in the center of it. She also found out that her brother, before passing, actually has a child. That's probably going to factor into this. We've heard
Yeah.
about multiverse of Black Panthers and possibly one showing up and becoming the Black Panther. Whether or not that plays out in
Yeah,
this, who really
yeah.
knows? But her announcement is maybe indicative of something going down that road if the concept art is to be believed. Next up, the man that denied he knew anything about this film 2 weeks ago, Paul Rudd, was
Nah, that's
announced in a
crazy.
very, very clever way. As they continued to pull back from the chairs, there's no chair. And then they follow the camera down to reveal a tiny chair for Ant-Man. This was this was awesome. It was a great way to announce Paul Rudd. I mean, he makes sense for this film. He was important and crucial to Infinity War Endgame and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, bridging those two. Obviously, an important character in the Marvel Universe. Whether or not you liked Quantumania or whatever, after watching that film a couple times since release, I've kind of soured on it, seeing many of the shortcomings, even though I still enjoy it. But overall, I'm happy that Paul Rudd is back. I'm happy Ant-Man is back. So let's see who's next. And that would be U.S. agent himself, Wyatt Russell. He was confirmed to be in the film next, which I guess is a spoiler for Thunderbolts that he's making it out alive. But let's be real about this.
Eh,
He was always going to make it out alive.
eh.
I absolutely love U.S. Agent. I think Wyatt is a great actor. If you haven't seen Monarch, you should. He's great. He
Eh.
literally plays, the same role as his father in that series. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. He's a good actor. I
Eh.
think his U.S. agent is great. I can't wait to see how he interacts with Sam and, of course, Bucky again. It's going to be interesting to see that relationship be further developed and how exactly does he join the team after what happened in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and how does he sort of go from Thunderbolts working for Valentina to this? We then had the announcement of Tina Huerta, aka Namor, has joined the cast. Cue in the Sue Storm memes, everybody. Cue in the Sue Storm memes, because you know they're definitely
Yeah.
going to lean into that just slightly. And
Poor Reed. Some people actually don't know the lore behind that. Some people was a little confused today of just saying Sue Storm and Namor. Yes, yes. In their relationship in the comics. Yes, it was actually a thing. It was actually a thing. It was indeed a thing. There is actual lore behind this, you know, and I'm not talking about recent lore. This is from within the 60s. Within the 60s, there was some lore behind this, you know? It was a little bit. I can feel your heartbeat through the waters, Mrs. Richards. Crazy. Now kiss. Crazy. Crazy. Seeing that her plight is hopeless, Sue Storm became visible again. Well, here's a prize worth catching. Reed, if you don't fight back, get it back in blood, bro. Get in the me personally. I want to let that happen to me.
And people of this channel know I love the amphibian people, I guess, on Marvel and DC Comics. So I am super excited for this because, well, let's be clear about this. Namor is an awesome character. He also is super OP when they make him OP. And it's going to be interesting to see how his story develops, since the last time we saw him was Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Yeah,
so
defeated.
There's a lot here. I'm hoping that they give us Namor more of sort of a proper king and kind of show us that cockiness and attitude he has, because it just seemed like he was almost like proto Namor in Wakanda Forever. Whatever the case is, I'm super hyped to see him back. Also, for the love of God, can you guys just have him scream Imperious Rex, raise a trident, and have him summon some sort of giant, like, almost Lovecraftian underwater creature to attack? Please? Thank you. Next up is Eben Moss Backrack, who of course is playing Microchip from The Punisher. Yeah, wishful thinking. I know, he's gonna play the Thing, because that's the one that makes sense, but come on, let a man dream, will ya? Let a man dream. Hey, what if he does double duty, and what if he does play Microchip, huh? Yeah, probably not, but look, it makes sense. I mean, the Fantastic Four are all gonna be in.
Captain Marvel's not gonna be in it. Trust me, I already looked at the cast of who's not going to be there, and we will talk about that too. But yeah, Captain Marvel's not gonna be in it.
In this, again, as I said, when they announced the Russo brothers, they said the first cast members confirmed are the Fantastic Four, all 4 members. This one makes sense. I'm excited to see the Thing. Like, you got a great actor, you got a great character. He looks amazing with that CG. So this cast can.
I know a lot of people talked about with the CGI for the Thing of the recent trailer. I've already stated this before, that is canonically how it's supposed to look like in the comics. Canonically speaking. Maybe a little bit like, you know, from the original cast of 2004, 2005. Body wise, correct. See, there was no CGI really with that. Well, I mean, there was in some degree, but how they got the CGI for this, they did a really good job. I have no problems with it.
Continues to impress. They keep adding great actors and great characters. Let's see who's next. And for those wondering, yes, I'm recording this as they drop each one. I just get back to the video, record, and then I'm editing other stuff on the side. So that's why it's in real time. Well, real time for me recording, not for you seeing it, obviously. Anyways, next. And next up is Shang-Chi. Simu Liu was officially announced. Oh, thank God. You guys know, if you've been following me on this channel, I love Shang-Chi.
Oh, by the way, Doctor Strange is in because Benedict Cumberbatch just announced, but he thought he was not gonna be in Doomsday, but Marvel contacted him and say he is in Avengers. Doomsday.
Okay. Yeah, his name wasn't listed in the beginning, so that probably must have been something it is that was like a recent change.
The film, I love the character of Shang-Chi. I just love martial arts characters in films in general. And that film is in my top 5 MCU. I absolutely adore it. Seeing this character back after waiting for so long to get any update on him, it's... God, it feels like it's been 84 years, if you get that reference. Some of you probably do. If you don't, it's a Titanic reference. I'm not actually saying it's been 84 years, because I know sarcasm can fly over people's heads. But hey, Simu Liu is back. Shang-Chi is back. We're doing good. Still no Eternals, so we're eating good, boys. We're eating good. Speaking of that, Yelena, Florence Pugh herself, is part of the cast. Not
I'm not too sure
surprising.
why.
I don't think it's surprising. Maybe it is to some people. She is currently my favorite working actress in Hollywood. I will watch anything she's in. Her range and talent is tremendous. Ever since I saw Midsummer, that was it. That convinced me I need to watch everything she's in.
I
I
mean,
love her as Yelena. I can't wait for Thunderbolts, primarily because of her and John Walker.
I
So
guess.
I'm super hyped. I'm just interested in seeing how they carry her story forward, considering that she's clashed with a few heroes, like Hawkeye, for example, and obviously works for somebody that's bad. And, well, she was in the Red Room program, still doing some pretty shady stuff when the Avengers were around. Either way, though, I'm excited to see how
Yeah,
this
Thor's in it.
unfolds, and I cannot wait to see what she has to offer and how they handle the new Black Widow as part of the team. Speaking
Oh,
of teams, somebody
she's going to be the new Black Widow. That makes sense. Mm. As long as they do, as long as they do justice by her, I guess so. But I mean, I didn't really care too much about with her character. I understood her anger. But it was like, how you gonna go ahead and have her in there, but you don't have Hawkeye in the movie? I don't, or at least from what I seen, is that he's not confirmed in this movie.
that knows teams is Beast. Kelsey Grammer is
I'm
back
cool
as
with
Beast.
this.
The
I'm cool
last
with
time
this.
we saw him was, of course, in the Marvels post-credit scene, where, of course, he was filling us in, or our character that was stuck in his universe, in on what's going on. So this one makes sense. They got to pick up with that plot thread. So this isn't a surprising casting at all. And honestly, I think that if you really look at the bigger picture here, we're definitely going pretty big multiverse with this character, right? Like that whole universe with those X-Men is returning. Unexpectedly, after multiple scoopers said he was not going to make it into the film because he's OP, Louis Pullman as Sentry is confirmed. Now, of course, Sentry is, he is an OP character, and I cannot wait to see how they handle him and what they do with him, which obviously means that he is going to be one of these characters that's, he's going to be trouble for everybody, right? We can assume that he's probably on the good guy's side by the end of Thunderbolts and he's joined the team, but how they handle him and if maybe somehow the Void or something factors into this and he maybe starts working for Doctor Doom, who knows? But this is a pretty major addition.
Right.
Another brand new addition is Danny Ramirez as Joaquin Torres, aka the new Falcon, who of course made his big debut and impact in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but he recently got a huge promotion in Captain America 4 Brave New World, and if you watch that film, he is now fully the new Falcon, and at the end of the film, he is recruited by Sam to the new Avengers. So this one makes a lot of sense. I think everybody was honestly expecting him to be in this. He's in it, and I think you're going to see more of that friendship between him and Sam obviously develop, but also he's now an Avenger, so he's probably going to have some funny banter with like, hey, who's Sam's real best friend? Is it me or is it Bucky, right? I can't wait to see that. Another member of the Fantastic Four, Joseph Quinn, aka the Human Torch. Obviously, the Fantastic Four are all in this. Human Torch is a fan favorite character. People absolutely love the Human Torch. Joseph Quinn, ever since he got his big break with Stranger Things, people have fallen in love with the actor. So it makes sense that he's in this. I don't think anybody's going to complain about this or anything like that or be pissed about it. It's like a given, right? So let's see what he has to offer and how he's definitely going to clash heads and, probably upset someone with his, with his Johnny Storm charm. Speaking of charm, you know who's charming? Probably. He's funny. That's David Harbour as Red Guardian, another member of the Thunderbolts. So this is definitely revealing to us who's going to survive the film and who isn't, right? That's the takeaway I got here. I am super hyped to see Red Guardian back. I think David Harbour is great. I absolutely love his character. I just can't wait to see how his personality is going to clash with a bunch of them. And I don't know if this is just me, but I feel like he's going to be one of the people that bites it. to make an impact. Doctor Doom shows up, you got to off a couple characters. I feel like he's probably one of them. Winston Duke will also
Yes,
be
sir!
returning. Yes, he is back, and I am excited. I absolutely love M'Baku in the Black Panther franchise, and seeing him
Absolutely.
again, bringing that intensity, energy, and comedic timing he brings to the role, chef's kiss. I cannot wait to see him. I'm super
Mwah.
excited because by announcing him, this means that Wakanda is probably going to have more of a presence than many of us were led to believe. So I cannot wait to see how this plays out and what's going to be going on
Me
with
too.
this. Next up is Hannah John Kamer, aka Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp 2, and also the upcoming Thunderbolts. Now, I think this is quite clearly another dead giveaway of everybody that's surviving the Thunderbolts, but also her involvement with the whole story kind of makes sense because it looks like the Thunderbolts by the end of their own film are just going to become good guys. So this is pretty exciting. Another addition I
M'Baku,
didn't
my
expect
side
to
nigga.
make it into
Okay.
this film and especially survive the Thunderbolts. I figured if anybody was dying, it's her and Taskmaster, so she survives. Returning is also the god of the entire universe, God
Absolutely.
King Loki himself. Tom Hiddleston was confirmed. This is a big one. He sees everything. He knows what's going on. He's literally going to see Doctor Doom try to rip the entire multiverse apart. And also, as previous reports suggested, there is reportedly some sort of attempt by the good guys and the bad guys to all get to Loki first. He's sort of like
Mm.
the MacGuffin in the film, reportedly. So if this is the case, we might have a
It makes
pretty big
sense.
indication of the direction that they're going in with this film. It's great to see Tom Hiddleston back. He's perfect as Loki. I'm assuming he's going to be one of the major players in this because he kind of has to be. Making his second return to the MCU is Patrick Stewart as Professor X.
The original GOAT, bro. Patrick Stewart has been doing this role since early 2000s. Well, what year? Hold on, chat. Because what year was the original X-Men movie? What year did that first come out? 2000. Patrick Stewart has been doing this, and mind you, like, and that's not include Star Trek, neither. We're talking about 40 years in the game, bro. 50 maybe. My guy getting up there in age, bro. He's another one. If he passes, bro, I might fall to pieces, gang. I ain't gonna lie. He's one of them pioneers. He's been doing it for so long.
I kind of expected this one, to be real with you. This is one that I was like, look, he already returned once. He said he enjoyed it. He wanted to be back. He's been saying he's on standby. I made a separate video on this about what I think they're doing with him and how excited I am. So this is quite awesome.
Yeah, I hope he has a better
cannot
script
wait
too.
to see what they do with his character and what direction he goes in. But he's also joined by his good friend Ian McKellen.
Another pioneer. Another one of the goats. Another one of the goats, man. He just makes the role of Magneto, bro. It's gonna be very hard to recast, kind of like with T'Challa. It's gonna be very hard to recast Professor X and Magneto. It's just they've embodied the role. Iron Man too. Iron Man too. Um, they've embodied the role. Wolverine as well. Embodied the role of this so well. It's gonna be very hard to try to recast at this point. There's always gonna be a comparison between these characters. So another one of the great goats, man.
AKA Magneto. I cannot believe this is happening. Longtime CBC listeners know I am a Magneto fanatic. I love that character. One of my absolute all-time favorites. And the fact he's playing by Ian again, that's just icing on an already perfect cake. I think in this, as I said in the other video, I think him and Charles are going to kind of be a little bit more allied because incursions are coming and they're fighting a war versus
Yeah.
other universes.
Yeah.
But this casting completely blows me away. This is like the one I never thought would happen. But he's back, and I cannot wait to see what they do with Sir Ian McKellen. Speaking of X-Men and unexpected, Alan Cumming is back as Nightcrawler.
I'm not mad at this at all. Nightcrawler was that nigga, bro. I think it was a X-Men 2, if I'm not mistaken. Fire, fire introductory when he did the little fighting. He did the fighting scene, and I think the supposed White House. Absolute fire. He embodied this character too.
Okay. Okay, I could say this one I never actually expected, so I never even like let the thought enter my brain. Like, well, whoever would have thought, oh yeah, they're gonna bring back Alan as Nightcrawler. But here we are. Before we get to talking about some of the ideas behind this, which we're definitely going to, I'm gonna just say it right now. He's gonna be fully CG. I don't think they're gonna have Alan sit there for 8 hours a day to be painted up. It's going to be like Kelsey
Oh.
Grammer. It's an entirely CG created character, and that's fine. Alan is much older right now, and obviously, like I mentioned for Magneto and Charles, I think that they're part of the fight against the incursions that are coming and ruining their universe.
That's gonna be interesting to see that because for Mystique and also with Nightcrawler, yeah, they had to sit for hours and get the blue paint onto their bodies and stuff. That's like every day of makeup and having to get up earlier than most people to get all that stuff put on and taken off each day of the production. So having it fully CGI'd, so they wear like the tracksuit and that gets like it's like a certain type of tracksuit it is that they have to put on. That's actually going to be very dope. I'm curious to see what that's going to look like completely CGI'd, because it's not going to look exactly the same as what it was that we originally seen it. It's going to look like a very updated version. It's almost going to look very much like the cartoon version, or if at least it is that I'm thinking in the back of my head, like the cartoon version of this. Because if they're gonna do it with Beast, like I'm sure Beast is probably gonna be the same way, because they're gonna have to like see fully CGI him, So it's gonna look like the comics. So I think that's dope.
Pretty exciting. Nightcrawler is awesome. One of the highlights of the first three Fox films. Really, the second one, I would say, obviously, but still, awesome casting. Can't wait. But let's not
Mystique.
stop the X-Men train because Mystique herself, Rebecca Romijn, has joined the cast. This is truly unexpected and shocking, but a welcome surprise.
I'm glad.
I
I'm
talked
glad
about
she
this in the
is.
video I made about her, specifically being announced. I have a crush on Rebecca Romijn. She's also in Star Trek right now, and she's great.
Oh
She
my
was
gosh.
Mystique when I really got into the character. The nostalgia factor for me is high. I can't wait to see what they do with her and how they just handle her character as a whole, because her character has gone through so many different changes and iterations throughout the comics. So,
Yep.
a welcome surprise to be sure. And I wonder if they're going to play off of anything in the history of her and Magneto and what happened in X3, or is that like completely ignored? I would assume it is because the multiverse, but who knows? And hey, speaking of history, somebody that's going to have history with Hugh Jack, aka Wolverine, when they meet up is James Marsden, who's back as Cyclops. Awesome.
Yes.
James's
Yes. I have no complaints
character,
about this.
his Cyclops version, was so mishandled by Brett Ratner in X-Men 3. And
It, I mean, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty mishandled. I mean, yeah, I knew it as a Cyclops really loved Jean, but you made that nigga look like a word that rhymes with pimp, if you will. Yeah, I hope it is that he has a redeeming arc within his character, because if anybody was to go back and to look at like X-Men 1 and 2, especially 3, they gonna think it is that he's a little bitch, and I don't want that of his character, because even back then I'm just like, oh, like Cyclops, you sorry, you know what I mean? That's not how you supposed to be. Like, granted, yeah, that's your woman. I get it, but you was acting a little sorry in in the role. It's funny. It's kind of hard for me because I grew up watching this actor play as Cyclops, but seeing him in Sonic was something it is I had to kind of like take out of my mental of just like, okay, all right, this is not Cyclops. This is not Cyclops. It's a completely different character. Maybe it's just me, but I'm glad it is that like they brought him back.
And that character just fell off, never really got his due. The recasting by Fox and Ty Sheridan playing him, I thought it was fine, but still, James deserves to play Cyclops and fully suit up. We're going to get it in this film, and it's going to be glorious. I cannot believe that this casting happened, but it has. So get excited because this is awesome. We're going to see Cyclops finally suit up, and they better pay back that what would you expect, or what did you expect, yellow spandex line. I need that to be addressed, and I need him to walk out in yellow and blue spandex. Okay, technically Marvel layered suit, but you get what I'm saying. Another welcome addition, Channing Tatum is back as Gambit. Yes. Yes.
I'm not mad at
yes. Man, I can't believe that out of everything in Deadpool and Wolverine, Gambit was my favorite. And again, I always backed Channing Tatum as Gambit, even when it got us a lot of hate on this channel a decade ago. I always believed he could do it. He proved he can, but I never expected him to be my favorite part of the film.
You know how
he
long
was,
it
even
is I
over
waited for
Blade.
this.
He nailed that role.
Ooh,
So
I'm
the
about to make a
fact
name
Channing
for
Tatum
myself
is
here.
back, he's playing Gambit, it's going to be awesome. I'm assuming it's also the same version of Gambit we got in Deadpool and Wolverine. It wouldn't make sense to change that. So
Yeah, I would
get
hope.
hyped
I would
for
hope
more
not. They don't
Gambit
change it.
and probably nonsensical talking, which will all become memes. We then got the confirmation of Pedro Pascal. He is now 100% confirmed for this cast, and no surprise here at all.
Yeah, no
Pedro,
surprise.
fan favorite in Hollywood right now. He's a big star. He's filling out the cast. He's going to be a major draw along with everybody else we just talked about. This is a pretty good casting overall for Mr. Fantastic, in my opinion. I'm assuming that their story, of course, unfolds the way you think it would unfold, which is, hey, we're in this new universe. Let's help these guys win the war, the multiversal war, whatever. Here we go. We know how to fight Doom, as he's probably from our universe, as is the working theory. And the final reveal during this entire stream was and is Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. So that is 30 actors in the film. Now, is this the end of it?
No.
I'm reluctant to say yes. I don't think it is. I think that they're saving quite a few as surprises. They didn't want to reveal everybody. I think this is just like the main cast, you know?
I'm calling it now. Even though it is that Tom Holland is not in there, we are definitely, I'm calling it, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield is definitely going to be in there. I'm calling it now. They're going to be in there. You know? And it makes sense for Spider-Man 4. You know what I mean? Like, even Scarlet Witch and Doctor, I'm saying Doctor Doom? No. What's my man's name? What's my man's name? Doctor Strange. There you go. Doctor Strange. They got their own separate movie it is that's gonna be coming out. That's already been like confirmed. So, we might even get a Zendaya scene. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm excited nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I was having like a brain fart for Doctor Strange, bro. Because I wanted to say Doctor Doom so bad. Like I kept saying, do not say Doctor Doom. It's not Doctor Doom. Stop it. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't do that. But nonetheless, I mean, and this ain't even all of it that's confirmed, chat. Like, let me see if it is, if I could try to find the rest of the full cast, because I know I seen it earlier, and I should have bookmarked it. What I'm starting to do now is bookmark my tweets, just so it is like I have them, so it is that I know. Okay, yeah, okay, never mind. Um, uh, so the full cast. Ant-Man, Shang-Chi, Loki, Gambit, Sue Storm, Mystique, Nightcrawler, Black Panther, Namor, Reed Richards as Ghost. Okay. So the characters, sorry, I'm yawning. I'm a little tired. Major MCU stars that are not included with the Doomsday cast. So we have Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo. We don't need the Hulk in there. You know what I'm saying? No. Okoye is not there. Star Lord, keep his bitch ass out of there. Daredevil, Wong, Mrs. Marvel, Hawkeye, Tom Holland, Spider Man, Moon Knight, Valkyrie, the Wasp, White Vision. Forgot about him. She Hulk, she don't need to be there. War Machine, Captain Marvel, Taskmaster, Ironheart, Nick Fury, Kate Bishop, Scarlet Witch, Madam Web, America Chavez, Monica, and then of course Doctor Strange. But then that got confirmed. You know, that got confirmed in there. So, as far as I'm concerned as of right now, I'm excited. I am excited. For once, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. The MCU was about to lose me, but I said, let me not give up because Disney wants to mess up all these TV shows and whatnot. I didn't want to give up on it just yet because I did enjoy a couple of the shows that was on there. But nonetheless, I'm excited for this. I do feel like Doctor Doom is gonna kill off some major characters. I feel like some of these major characters gonna die. A good majority of them, actually. You know what I mean? Have you heard that they asked her and they said that she's done with Marvel and actually is being serious about it? Let's be real. Let's be real here. Let's be real. As major as her character is, that sounds more like a negotiation issue versus her actually just wanting to quit that. You know what I mean? She's too locked in at this point. They're gonna want to keep her. But nonetheless, I am excited. I'm excited. So 2026, May of 2026, you're gonna see me with a good seat, some snacks, some merch, all that to go watch this movie, bro. I'm excited to see what it is that Dr. Doom, aka Robert Downing Jr., who's been carrying the MCU on his back since 2008, what he's gonna do as the villain, bro. I'm excited nonetheless. So, I cannot wait.